Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing a review about the new episode of Dragon Ball Super that just dropped, episode 112. Yeah, let's get into it. Basically, it kicks off with Kaba fighting this, I think she was Universe 4. Can't remember her name off the top of my head, but yeah, she was Universe 4. They were fighting and he was basically losing, but how it began was the girl from Universe 4 originally went up to Kale and Khalifa, I can't fully pronounce it. They went to each other and she says, I'm going to eliminate you. Kaba steps in and says, no, you two basically rest up, do your thing because you two are the strongest. Now, I understand these Saiyans have evolved differently, but never would have imagined a Saiyan saying they're stronger. I mean, Vegeta, even though we clearly know, and I'll get back to that in a minute, is weaker than Goku, he will never fully admit it to himself. Because, you know, Goku, main character, transformations and everything, but I will get to that in a minute. So he fights her, he's losing, he's about to get knocked out. Even though he tried to put up a good fight, I don't understand why he was so weak. I feel like it's a Gohan. I feel like if he was more confident in himself, he could take out a lot more than the girl that she was facing, to be honest, if he just believed in himself more. Now, that might be a personal opinion, but I feel like I could say he could take out certain members of certain universe, nothing like Dispo or, do you know what I mean, nothing like that, but a decent mid-level character I feel like he could take out. By the way, all these fights that you're seeing are technically brand new. I've recorded them, some of them previously, some of them now. But it was just something, it was just weird to see that he doesn't have that confidence in himself. So let's skip forward. He's about to get knocked out. Vegeta saves him. Vegeta basically just blows back this girl with one ki blast, or energy blast, whatever you want to call it. Basically just blows her back. And now he, all of a sudden, now he's talked to his master. And what was a good scene here was the fact that Vegeta said, aren't you going to keep up to your promise? Now Kaba, not realizing what the promise was, says, what promise? And he says, the one that you promised me back in the universe arc. So they hark back to it, and obviously he promised to take him to planet Sadar. Now what he said was, now what, sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied. What's his name? You know what, the saying from Universe 6, because his name is not coming to me right now. He said specifically that if I was to win, how could that work? And Vegeta's like, don't be ridiculous. I'm going to win, but when I win the Dragon Balls, I'm going to resurrect you. So so nothing's really going to matter. And then the Universe 6 Saiyan says basically the same thing. I know his name, but it's just not coming to me right now. That's it, Kaba. Can't believe I forgot. I was saying that at the beginning of the video and I fully forgot. Yeah, but Kaba said that he'll do the same thing. Then it cut to Frieza, and Frieza was just basically listening like he's been doing throughout this whole arc, which I want to see him fight somebody good as well. But hey, so he says that his wish will be to control the gods. Now, there's a kind of a thing wrong with this. Now, forgive me if I'm wrong, but technically, ain't Frieza dead? Like, in the show, Frieza's got a halo. So he's been resurrected only partially for a certain amount of time, like Goku was back in the Buu arc. So I'm thinking to myself, so wait a second, how is he going to control the gods if he's partially dead? Do you understand what I'm trying to say here? It just wouldn't make sense. If you're dead, you can't control anything. You're dead. But anyway, we'll get back to that in a bit. So it continues on fighting. Goku's fighting these robots. I can't remember what from universe they're on. There's a lot of universes, a lot of names, and I can't be asked to remember everything. But he's fighting them, and Vegeta is basically there fighting Tapo from Jiren's universe. I think it's universe 11. Yeah, from universe 11. And basically he says, I'm not interested in fight. He wants to go fight Jiren, and then he steps in and says, no, you're gonna fight me. And he says, I'm not interested. Vegeta basically says, I'm not interested in fighting second fiddle. So Tapo says, aren't you second fiddle anyway? then he just turns blue and tries to fight. And so that to me was a very key kind of telling part. I know some people are talking about the Gohan and the Namekians. That will be good. I'm just not expecting it to be, you know, show-stopping episode, to be honest. I feel like that can end in 1, maybe 2 episodes. I was watching this video, apparently people saying they might freeze. Now, them fusing would be pretty good, because right now it could be a good fight, but I think them fusing would be very good, to be honest. Their power level would go so much higher. You remember when Piccolo technically fused with Kami? That whole thing, he was technically on the level of a Super Saiyan by that point. And so I feel that that would be the best way to I don't know, make it more exciting for Gohan and Piccolo, because right now they've just been standing there. Especially Piccolo. Gohan not necessarily, but Piccolo, yeah, he's just been standing there. He hasn't really been tested, so I feel like that would be a good test. And maybe he tells Gohan, listen, if I'm about to go out, let me go out on my shield, let me go out by myself, while you go do this and you go do that. Which again would be good to see. But what made this key for me is there was that one line where Vegeta and Tapa were talking. I think that's his name. I can't, again, for some reason I know their names, but it's just not coming to me at this moment. And they were talking, and the way he said there was second fiddle, and just before that they were talking about the other, he was talking about going to planet Sadar. Could this be where Vegeta actually breaks away from Goku? Now, I know that's probably not gonna happen. This is probably just something that I would want to happen because I'm a Vegeta fan. But this is, Goku's like the John Cena of Dragon Ball. It's like Hulk Hogan. It gets to the point where it's just too much. Like, for crying out loud, let them lose. Let them, like, I know they're the main characters, but they don't always have to be the strongest in the whole storyline. For crying out loud, that's what made me like One Piece. That the fact that Luffy, even though there was like times where he was the strongest in the storyline, there was no time where I felt that had maybe the area which they were fighting in had changed, like with Crocodile, had there not been literally any water, he would have lost because there would be no way to hit him. And Nell was technically different because, you know, the rubber lightning thing, and there was just a whole lot of the admirals, and now you've got the Yonkos that we're not even sure he can beat, especially Kaido. So you don't necessarily have to be the strongest to be the main character. Now, Goku isn't the strongest right now, but we can all see it going in that direction. You can't even say anything to me, and it's annoying to have Vegeta play second fiddle to that. So it would be nice if Vegeta's just said, listen, I'm gonna go over to Universe 6 while you stay here. Or maybe they go over together, but he trains with Vados and Champa. Now, the reason why I think that is possible, because in this episode as well, when he saved Kaba, Champa was like, way to go, thank you Vegeta, you're the best, basically. I can't remember the exact line. And he said basically, you're the best. Now Vados said, wasn't you right? She said something. And then Champa was like, I always repay my debts. Now, could that be a way of Vegeta segueing away from the Universe 7, going into Universe 6, training up, and then becoming one of the strongest? That would be a cool way. It would be a cool way for him to break away. I don't think he's going to have a new transformation, to be honest. I know people are saying that he might do, he might not. I don't think he will, because remember now, he's second fiddle. And I'm a Vegeta fan, and I'm saying it, and it actually burns me. So that was, it was just a bit weird. The whole episode itself was a bit weird. I didn't like how the Kaba thing ended. I felt that there could have been much more fights, potentially. I felt, no, not much more fight, but more fight time. I think that's one thing Dragon Ball Super has been failing with. Like, for example, Vegeta, that lasted less than an episode. That lasted about one half of the episode. You're talking about Vegeta, an anticipated comeback since, for crying out loud, who knows how long, and you're telling me you only give him half an episode. I feel that that's just a bit too. I feel that if that was Dragon Ball Z, that would have at least been 3 to 4 episodes, even though it would have been half an hour. For crying out loud, it took about 5 to 6 episodes for the Namekian planet when Frieza was fighting Goku the first time, for it to destroy. So you're saying half an hour couldn't at least be at least 10 episodes? I thought that whole arc should have been longer, but that's a story for another day. This is just where I come from, and he doesn't, and I feel that Kaba should have been defeated, me personally, before Hit. Because Hit's gone now, even though I'm not really that much of a Hit fan. It was just, I just wanted to see Hit, put it that way. But now everything's done, you can't really change it. And I was just giving you lot my take on it, what could happen for future arcs. I feel that Vegeta is eventually going to break away. Because you remember now, one thing that he wasn't himself. Remember that whole Margin Vegeta bit where he said he wasn't himself? Now, I was young that time, so I only watched the dub. Whether that happened in the sub, I don't know. But I was young this time. So when I was watching it, I didn't even really know there was a sub. I thought it was just, do you know what I mean? You know it was an anime, but you didn't know it was a dub. And things changed in the dub. I thought, if anything, it would be exactly the same, because why would they change it? But they do, so hey. But the whole Margin Vegeta bit, the original bit was that, okay, sorry, I had to take a break here. This dude is just grabbing the hell out of me. It was just something new to see. And you know, I'm kind of waiting for the next episode to come about, you know, to see where everything's gonna go from here, to see what's eventually going to happen with the whole Universal arc, because people are obviously expecting for Universe 7 to win. Not saying that they can't, but what I'm saying is, and another thing I want to talk about as well, which I'm going to get into this video, not saying that they can't, but I feel that they've made Jiren so overhyped that anything less than Ultra Instinct, and even Ultra Instinct itself, should not be able to defeat him. Purely based on the fact that his body, remember when he faced against Hit and Vado said something about how his power and his body transcends through time. That to me signified, even if he has Ultra Instinct, even if he somehow gains control of it again, I would be very, very upset if he was to actually defeat him in battle. Just because of how overgassed he's been. Because even when he was facing Ultra Instinct, it wasn't just a one-sided beatdown. It wasn't like how when Goku turned Super Saiyan against Frieza, or Gohan went Super Saiyan 2 against Cell. It was nothing like that. Okay, if you watched the fight, it was nothing like that. It was a very close fight actually. Even though he was losing, it was a pretty close fight. That's what I'm saying. I will not be happy if he gets blown out by Ultra Instinct. Now you lot might say I'm hating because I'm a Vegeta fan, but hey, it's just, you would be upset too, unless he has complete mastery and something else up his sleeve, like a Kaioken or something, or maybe he's able to fully go blue in that form. Then anything else would be pretty upsetting to me. Well, anyway guys, thanks for watching my review. I don't know if I'm going to do more of these, it depends on how many views and likes and whatever this gets. But let me know what you lot think in the comment section. What you lot think is going to happen after the tournament. What you lot's going to think. What do you lot think is going to happen during the tournament? And you know what? See you lot.